Hey there, guys. It's Dean O'Dell. Today is June 28th. It's time for another Tustin Talks. We're calling this our Back to Basics edition. And the reason why is because we have our editor moving and out of town, traveling through Europe, having just a great time. So, I have to do this in Zoom format. Okay. So, that said, our episodes are going to look a little bit different for the next month, but we're still going to have the same great information, just not all the little animations and moving stuff going on. We're going to be looking at all the charts like we always do and discussing those. So let's get to those right now. So looking at Orange County listing inventory year over year, look at today, 2,281 homes. Go down to the bottom. Look at the 3-year average, 6,633. You guys, we're at like 1/3 the normal inventory level. That's crazy. I mean, this is a housing crisis when it comes to inventory. Okay. If you look at the blue line, that is where we are right now. The orange line was 3,491 homes at this time last year. That's a big difference, right? And 2 weeks ago, you could see we were at 2,196. So we've gained just a little bit of inventory. Now let's look at the escrows, the pending sales over the last 30 days. So if we look at the pending sales over 30 days, that's the blue line. Again, you can see how things have flattened out. Now, normally this time of year, if you follow the other lines, you can see we're normally going down. Now, the green line, that was our pandemic year. That was just a crazy, weird year, and we can almost throw that thing out. But we're still leaving it in there just so you can see how weird that year was, right? But you can see that our demand is also historically low, right? We had 1,602 sales over the last 30 days. And remember, there's only 2,200 homes that are on the market. So the absorption rate is quite high, right? We're absorbing a lot of the properties that are coming on the market. 2 weeks ago, we were at 1,595, and you can see inventory is normally dropping this time of year, but we are remaining flat. But last year we had 1,861 homes, and our 3-year average was 2,679. Now, if you got a good memory, we only have 2,200 homes on the market roughly, right? 3-year average 2,679 for escrows. Well, that's more escrows than we have inventory in the marketplace. So you can see where the problem is, right? So that 3-year average, like we said, there's usually about 6,600 homes on the market to choose from to get to that 3-year average of 2,679. So, call that roughly 2.5 to 3 homes for every buyer. Right now, we just do not have that situation. Okay. So let's look at the next slide. Orange County expected marketing time. All right. Well, today we're at 43 days. 2 weeks ago, we were at 41. And last year, we were at 56. So the market has sped up. You can see the 3-year average prior to 2020 was 75 days. And if you plug that into the chart up top, you will see that even at 75 days, we are at a slight seller's market. And right now, and last year, we are in a hot seller's market again, right? So this just keeps going on and going on. And what's causing all of this, right? Well, we're going to talk about that, but let's talk about the marketing time in your specific price range, because not only is real estate specific to location, the data in the locations where you want to buy or sell, or Orange County in general, but also the price range. So let's look at the demand by price ranges, because that does vary. So if we look at the demand by price ranges, you're going to see the bracket on the left, the hot sellers market, runs all the way down to $2 million, 1.5 to $2 million. Everything in that bracket is a hot sellers market. And you can see that even 1.5 to 2 million, that price range, and 1.25 to 1.5, those are much faster than they were last year at this time. So you can see it's these lower price ranges, even going all the way up to the top there to 29 days versus 35. Everything is moving faster above 2 million this year than it was last year at this time. And you say, that doesn't make sense. You got higher interest rates, this, that. Why is this happening? Well, it's because there is such a lack of inventory and there is still demand. Don't forget, people, we have 3.2 million people that live in Orange County, and they're chasing 2,000 homes, the ones that can buy. So slight sellers market between $2 and $4 million. You can see that is almost at the equilibrium point in 90 days. You can see the current demand in that is 9%, where the current inventory is 19%. So that's roughly about 2 homes for every buyer, right? So that's starting to level off, which is good. And then over the 4 million price range, you can see we start getting into that deep buyer's market territory. So that's where we are by price range. You can see the higher the price range, the slower the market. Now let's look at this, because people are always asking about prices, and you read all this stuff in the newspaper and it's very, very confusing. So this is just the data plotted month by month going back to June of 2020. And you will see how prices have risen all the way until we started to get a little deeper into the pandemic, and then the lockdown, and then boom, right? Then we had prices just go down a little bit, stay flat. Then they started climbing again. So you can see how they've climbed 1% to 2% per month for a long, long time, all the way through last year when they started coming down in June or so. And then that continued to lose 1% or 2% per month all the way until we got to the first of the year. And then we started creeping up again. So we're getting to the point now where prices have almost come back all the way from where they fell in the second half of 2022. We might be down just a little bit from that, but as you can see from the data, the market is still strong. Historically low inventory, historically low demand. How much demand is actually out there? It's hard to really say because we don't have enough inventory to test it. But what we do see is that houses that are priced right are getting multiple offers. So we do believe that the pressure on pricing, even with interest rates being almost at 7% now, it's still going to be there. We just don't see a big, well, let me go to the next slide. I'm getting ahead of myself. So my advice for buyers and sellers, what I want to continue saying is just that we do not see prices going down until demand just almost evaporates relative to the supply, meaning there's going to be too much supply for the amount of demand, or we're just going to have to get more supply. And how are we going to get more supply? Well, the only way we're going to get more supply that we can see right now is either a very bad recession, much worse than what they're predicting, or we are going to need interest rates to go down. Because if interest rates go down, then the people that will not sell their houses right now will start selling their houses. Because right now they're in love with their mortgages more than their houses. People don't want to move. They're locking themselves down in their house until it makes sense, until that differential gets closer. Right now, you've got rates in the mid 6s, even all the way up to 7. And people are saying, well, why would I move for that? I've got a 3% mortgage on my house, right? So until that spread gets closer, or until people get into some financial difficulty because maybe they lost their job and, they don't want to sit there and just burn through their equity on their property, we'll see more. Now, another theory out there too, to bring more inventory, is actually the short-term rental market, the vacation, VRBO, Airbnb, all that kind of stuff. So we don't actually have an accurate count on that, but we know in some markets that's a big deal. And that demand is way down right now. So investor-owned property, people that bought these properties or held on to their old properties with the ideas they were going to VRBO them, that industry, Airbnb, VRBO, is down 40 to 60%. So people are only going to hold those properties so long, especially if they have mortgages on them, because the mortgages used to buy those properties are normally going to be adjustable mortgages if they're from an investment standpoint. And those are all adjusting with higher rates now. So people are having to pay more on those mortgages, right? Plus, they're not getting people to rent them as much. So you got their rentals are down, rental income's down, payments are up. Not a good formula for success as an investor. So what we're hoping is we're going to see some of that shadow inventory come to market. So fingers crossed, buyers, for that. Sellers, all I can tell you is it's still just a great time to sell your house. I don't know much longer it can stay like this. It's gone way longer than I ever thought it would. Nothing like this that I've seen in the business over 30 years. And at some point it will change. And a lot of people think that point's coming, but as you can see from the data, it's still showing things in your favor quite a bit. So the best advice I can give you is, get rid of that house while things are still good, while prices are still up. If you're thinking about selling rental properties, vacancies are starting to occur. We are seeing the rental market with more vacancies. So from a seller standpoint, I think it's a good time to get out. I really do. Just give us a call. We'll gladly prep that house, get it ready for the market for you so you can get top dollar. And that's what we do. We've got the crews, we've got the painters, we've got everything. All right. And then we'll tell you about our process and how we're going to get you top dollar for that house, or you can just sell it as it is. Or some people are just calling us direct now and saying, hey, do you have a buyer for my house? Because I don't even want to go through all that. I just, I'm ready to sell it right now. Well, let me just tell you, if that's you, call us. I don't recommend selling your house off market. I never do, because you'll get top dollar if you put it on. But for some people, it's not about the money. For some people, it's about convenience. And just know that we have other agents on our team that have plenty of buyers. So we do very well with buyers and very well with sellers. We can help you out. So give us a call. All right. We'll see you in 2 weeks on our next Tustin Talks. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much, because the editor's not going to be around to cut out my rambling. So anyway, we'll see you then. Bye-bye.